Candace Owens, what you were saying about Steven Crowder today on Tim Pool. Oh, that's so great. Because we gotta think about what Steven said in his first video. He didn't say DW. God damn it. He didn't say DailyWire. He didn't say it. He said, I don't want to say who I'm talking about, but I'm talking about a bunch of different people. It's not about the money. Candace Owens comes out and like, you said, hey honey, you said, oh, Steven's being a drama queen, thinking about the money, but it's not about the money. Steven said it again and again, and other people are talking about it too, including Young Ripper. And a bunch of other people are talking about this. And it's kind of crazy on the internet, especially on Twitter and YouTube. People talking about this stuff, going back and forth this week. That's right, this second or third week of January 2023. I'm oatmeal Joey, I know the most banned oatmeal in the world. And I feel like this is pretty devastating and kind of cool too, because it's good in a way that we're talking about this, and you should not miss the point. Now I want to say before I forget, one thing that kind of said that I agree with. What you said about Kanye West, I totally agree. It's like, it was terrible. What's happening? A lot of people were piling on top of Kanye West, yo. And they're going around all over the place, especially on fake news. They're all saying like, hey everybody, you gotta say bad stuff about Kanye West. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not, let's go and punch him in the face. Let's spit on his grave, so to speak. Let's continue to dogpile on top of him. You gotta say bad stuff. Hey, Candace Owens, you gotta say bad stuff too. Come on. Everybody's doing it. And Candace was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. He my friend. These people my friend. He my friend. Dennis Prager my friend. This person my friend. That person my friend. I'm in the middle. But I don't want to say bad. Don't want to say bad about him. And why should I? Why should I be one more person something bad about him? And so I'm listening to all that, and I think it's really good that she said that. And so she said that. She said that on Temple, and I thought that was a really good point. It was really well said. It probably shouldn't be all that she said. It was basically all that she said for now. There's probably more to be said. At least for me, I would say more. I would say that there's some truth in what he said. I may disagree if he said all Jews are bad. Sometimes he might be joking. Sometimes he might be trying to make points. Sometimes he does stuff in crazy ways. But there is some truth in what Ye was trying to say, especially when he went on Alex Jones in December 2022. There was some truth, but it was buried deep inside a big mountain of stuff. And people are confused or distracted and a lot of stuff. Especially this week, as we got that thing in Davos, Switzerland, with the world leaders and influencers and government leaders and the FBI guy there. What's he doing from America? Going to Switzerland. We got reporters trying to talk to people, including the guy from Rebel Media, who used to have Lauren Southern, and then she came out with a video talking about that, her life, her experience with Rebel. She came out with that video, the whole truth, the whole story, back in the summer last year. It was a good video. So I think it talked about Ezra Lafayette, and some people may have treated Laura Southern badly, or whatever it might have been. I was watching the videos, and I thought it was good for her to talk about all of it. It was good. And so, is Ezra guilty of doing bad, doing Lauren Southern wrong? I don't know, but nonetheless, regardless, he go to he go to Switzerland, he go to Davos, and he tried to ask people good questions. They didn't answer, but there were some people. And he talked to the people. And he answered people. Did you know about this? Did you know about that? And some of this stuff I can't really talk about on YouTube, because then they'll just delete me again like they did already. YouTube deleted my 10,000 videos and they're ignoring my emails. And they ignore me on Twitter. I try to contact them whatever way I can. I fill out the forms again and again. I email them again and again. I contact them on Twitter. They ignore me after they delete over 10,000 videos. They suspended 3 of my channels, probably more than that, 2. So many channels. They locked me out of like over 40 channels of mine. It's a lot. They didn't even give me a 3rd strike. YouTube is terrible, which leads me back to the main point of what we're talking about, is what Steven Crowder was saying is what he was saying. It's mostly about what you see happen to a lot of creators. Let me tell you. And this is what I disagree with Candace Owens on, to a large degree. Even though what she said about Kanye West is good. What she said about Ye is good. But let me tell you, let me go back to talking about Steven Crowder for a second. Even though it's probably more important to talk about Bilderberg, Davos, the World Economic Forum, all these world leaders who want to control your life, all the stuff that we can't talk about without getting banned. I'm the most banned oatmeal in the world. It's like that's more important to talk about for the most part. Talk about all this stuff. Like, we gotta stop. We really do. Like, God damn it. Like we really do need to talk about all that stuff. Very important. All the things. But they don't let you do it on big tech, a prison planet, social media ghetto. But humor me for a second as we go back and talk a little bit about what this is all about, this video, for now. Talking about Steven. Tim Pool of the Timcast, he was like, I disagree with Steven Crowder recording the conversation of the DailyWire guy. The phone conversation, Tim Pool today, earlier, yesterday, Thursday, He was like, I disagree. I think that would be wrong. I think Steven Crowder is wrong. I disagree with you. Tim, I disagree because, listen to this. When people do bad, you're going to let people know. That's the whole thing that like WikiLeaks and maybe not I don't know, is it WikiLeaks and Project Veritas, even Alex Jones, when he was recording the conversation with Megyn Kelly, it's like sometimes you really got to do that. Sometimes we really gotta do that. You really gotta let people know the truth, especially if they're doing you wrong and doing other people wrong and screwing you, kind of thing, and that kind of happens, and it's kind of what is going on, kind of thing. And phone call's not really a private thing, not necessarily. I mean, it's private in the sense that it's between two people. But whether or not one side is recording or not, you don't really know. And should it be allowed or not allowed? Well, you can't really say. You can't really govern that, because it's not the same like being in person. Like when you pick up a phone, first of all, the phone conversation is going through the internet. Not exactly the internet. Oh, it is, basically the same thing, but originally when the internet was being developed, it was going through the telnet, and now the telnet goes through the internet, but it's one and the same, kind of. But anyways, it's like this. Listen to what Edward Snowden said. You remember that guy? You know, he was in, what was he in, the NSA? He was on Joe Rogan. He talked about that. He had to run away to Russia. Actually, he was in Russia and he got stuck there, I think. And he couldn't get out. And it might have been America that intentionally got him stuck there. I don't know what happened exactly, but he was talking about how the 3-letter agencies are like spying on people on the internet. It's like, that happens, right or wrong, that happens, and people are like wiretapping and spying and all that stuff that we talk about when we talk about what was that? What's that thing, that big scandal that happened in the 1970s? Was it 1960s, 1970s with one of the presidents? And Roger Stone likes to talk about it, and it was a big deal, but it's like, what's happening now with the Patriot Act and everything else? It's terrible, it's devastating, and that's the state of the thing, state of the world. I mean, that's how things are, good or bad, right or wrong. That's how things are. My point is, when you're on a phone conversation, you got to remember that it's not private, in the sense that the conversation is being broadcast and transmitted and is going through a lot of hoops. Every hoop, every step of the way, it could be intercepted. It could be spied on, wiretapped, and all these things. Through technology, analog, digital, whatever it is, different things in different places, but it's a big mess. It's a big mess. It's a big, big mess. It's a big club, and you're not in it. You're not in it. And it is what it is, but it's not exactly private, even though you want it to be private, and you kind of pretend to be, like, you say that it's private. Like, we all, like, we want integrity, and we want to treat people good and keep things private. And I'm not exactly saying you shouldn't try to, but sometimes you gotta just violate this stuff. I know it's like, kind of goes against morality or whatever you want to call it. It goes against a lot of stuff, but sometimes you really gotta. I believe, I could be wrong, I could be the biggest jerk in the world, but I'm gonna say this. I like what Steven did. I mean, unless if you can prove to me that he's totally wrong, too aggressively, too excessively, like too majorly wrong. Like, if he's really, really, really wrong, then perhaps I'm wrong and I should repent. But at the moment, at this moment, I feel strong that there are people and there are companies out there that are screwing people over with bad contracts. And I like that some people are talking about it. Some people are in the middle. Some people are team Crowder. Some people are team Candace. Some people don't know. Some people don't care. But see, the thing is, this internet drama stuff going back and forth, it affects a lot of people. God damn it. It affects a lot of people. Especially younger people and, up and coming talent that want to be sponsored. And let me use a good analogy for a second to help explain what we're talking about. Just for a second, humor me, okay? Let's talk about talent, musicians, artists, record labels, and American Idol. I'm going to use this as a quick analogy, illustration, parable, whatever you want to call it, man, woman, whatever you want, animal, alien. Think about this. Once upon a time, like, imagine that you are Kelly Clarkson. You're a young talent. You're a musician. You're an artist. You coming in. Now, if you by yourself, you try to become famous, try to make money, try to be good, try to grow your brand, your music, your popularity. You can try really hard. You can go to clubs and bars and everywhere, anywhere, and you can sing songs, and maybe people will pick you up and let you sing here, sing there, sing at a wedding, sing on the side of the street, panhandle. There's so many different ways to do it, and you could probably try to do it independently, and you might have to work really hard doing your singing, doing your act, trying to get your show on the road, trying to go to Las Vegas or whatever country you're in. It could be really, really hard. Or you might go on American Idol or American Got Talent or XXX or other shows on TV or not on TV. But let's just say American Idol, for example. And you might win, like Kelly Clarkson, Clay Aiken, Michael Jackson, who wasn't on American Idol. But let's say, think about that. Think about that for a second. It's like, so you win, and then you run into record labels and you sign contracts, kind of like Steven Crowder, signing contracts, or thinking about signing contracts with companies. That's right, companies like DailyWire. Not exactly a record label, but it's a company. So it's like you got a musician. Instead of saying Kelly Clarkson, let's say Michael Jackson. And say he signs a deal with the judge of American Idol, Simon Cowell. It could be a really bad deal. Let's just say this happened a long time ago. What would he do? You're Michael Jackson. What do you do? You want to be famous. What do you do? Do you sign a deal with them or not? It might screw you over, especially if if the contract says that if YouTube deletes you, you're gonna get penalized, and every time a social media bans you, suspends you, penalizes you, then that will be reflected on your work contract. You're going to get less money, maybe even fined up to, 120%? Does that mean you're going to lose money? Sounds like a terrible deal. I mean, do I really have to drag out this analogy a little bit longer? We could talk about this analogy in context of music, sports, basketball, like anything really. You get the picture, right? It's like if you're an up-and-comer and you're new, you might want to do it. And it's kind of like a apprenticeship, and you learn a little bit, and it's good. And maybe you do it for a limited time, 2 years, 3 years. You may not want to do it forever, or maybe you do want to do it forever because you don't really care. Or it depends on a lot of things, a lot of variables, but do you want to expand? Do you want to grow? Do you want to go beyond that? That's up to you, and you have to decide. And you really don't want to get locked into a contract. Kind of reminds me of basketball players in the NBA and getting locked into these contracts for different basketball teams, and sometimes the contract's like a year, 2 years, sometimes it's 5 years, which is a pretty long time. And so some of these basketball players were going from one team to another team. Michael Jordan, he was playing with Chicago Bulls for a long time. And then he went with the Wizards later on when he came back for a third time. Michael Jordan was on the Washington Wizards. But he was mostly with the Blazers. I'm not the Blazers. What am I thinking? So Michael had a teammate, Scottie Pippen, who went to a couple other places. And it could be difficult. It could be difficult because, like, you're on a team, and then it's like you feel like you made a mistake, or you don't want to be there, or there's problems and you want to go. But you can't go because you're stuck in the contract. And that leads me up to this current contract or potential contract that Steven Crowder was talking about in his video. So I want to go back to talk about that. I know I talked about that in other videos too. Let's talk a little bit about DailyWire and Blaze and others and the contracts. You just gotta think about this. One of the things that Steven Crowder was trying to say is it's not about the money. Good song. It's not about the money. We don't need no money. It's about the price tag. It's about whether or not you're willing to sell your soul to the devil. And he's like, well, it's not about me. That's the point. Not about the money. It's about the other people, the up-and-comers, and how are some of the companies gonna treat these people. Some people are saying like, oh, Steven Crowder treat people badly. Is that true? I don't know. But part of me doesn't really care, and please help me if I'm wrong about this, and Steven is a terrible person. Please get somebody like Quarter Black Garrett to talk about this, or somebody else, other people, anybody really. I mean, I understand what Candace Owens is saying and other people, but it's like I also understand what Steven is saying, and I believe that it's true that people can get stuck in these bad contracts. I agree that it requires lawyers, attorneys to negotiate contracts and everything, and that's understandable. And Candace talked about that, the beauty of free market capitalism, and how it's necessary and it's very good to negotiate and have levers in making deals when you're buying stuff, when you're doing stuff in the free market, buying, selling, and renting, and all this kind of stuff. And that includes negotiating work contracts and barter, like I said earlier, bartering, buying, selling, bartering, all this kind of stuff, and making deals, making all kinds of deals, contracts. You go back and forth. There's a little bit of science in it, a little bit of a give and take, and that's good, really good. But that doesn't mean that one side is not going to be a bit of a bully. And if some of them are being bullies, that's devastating. And that doesn't mean everybody in a group, in a company, is bad, terrible, including you. And you're taking it personal. Candace, you're taking it personal, and you shouldn't be. First of all, when he made the first video, he didn't say DailyWire. And everybody was like, oh my God, he's talking about DailyWire, but he didn't say DailyWire. God damn it. This is one of the things that's very devastating. Please deep throat oatmeal Joey Arnold. I mean, please deep fake Joey Arnold. Please, I got some videos where I say every letter. I wish I could say more. And my thoughts on this is just like, I'm very passionate about it. I probably should scream. I want to scream like Alex Jones about this. I'll probably wake people up. But this is very important. I have stuff to say. Some of the stuff I've been talking about. I think it's like what Steven is trying to say, what he's saying, is really important. And it sounds like they didn't have to do what they did, and they shouldn't have done what they did. Whether it's DailyWire or anybody else. I mentioned the Blaze. I don't know if they did him wrong or did other people wrong exactly. I'm not involved. I don't know. But how are other people going to handle it? Especially when things are tough economically and these people need to do something to earn a living. Especially if they're political and they're not able to have a normal job. Like, think about the people that cannot have a normal job because they burned their bridges. I mean, not on purpose, but it's like the left won't let them work. Think about people like Kyle Rittenhouse. If he tries to work as a nurse or whatever else, is it going to be possible? It could be really hard, maybe not possible. It's very hard. It's very hard. And so it's like they should probably go into this stop making content online for people or independently. It's very hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very hard. Think about this. Like, it's really hard. And then they might, want to go to The Blaze or Fox, DailyWire or somebody. Please don't delete this video, YouTube. Even if the DailyWire begs you to. And I'm not saying they would, but they did. They did have my video removed until you restored it and then delete my whole entire channel. And you delete over 10,000 videos of mine. That's a lot of videos. YouTube. Why do you do that? YouTube deleted over 10,000 videos of Joey Arnold. And you won't apologize if you did it wrongly. I want them back. I want them back. We won't give them back. And DailyWire helped you attack me, which I know is bad, but I'm a nobody. And if they're gonna go after me, then they're gonna go after you too. And that's all there is to it. And it sounds like, to me, in my opinion, my honest opinion, it seems like Steven Crowder is trying to help people realize that bad contracts can screw you over. Especially if the contract depends on your performance on social media, which is not promised. Tomorrow's not promised. One day you'll wake up, no YouTube, no Facebook, no Twitter. And so then your company is going to say, oh, sorry, we're going to take all your money now. You're not going to get any money. We're probably going to charge you money maybe, depending on what it says on the contract. And now you got to pay money because the left, they want you gone. You sign a contract, you're locked in a deal, and now how are you going to get out? And all they have to do is complain to YouTube, complain to these websites, and get you knocked off, suspended, terminated, deleted, which they've done to me many times since 2010. That's right. 13 years ago it started. Maybe longer than that. And other people even longer. And they do this to a lot of people. And you're just going to be like, well, that's okay. It's not okay. That's why I am on Team Crowder, because these contracts don't have to depend on big tech. It doesn't have to. They don't have to say, well, your money is based on the revenue and the money that you get from the advertisements from YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. No, you shouldn't do that. You should have a model where you figure out a way to give people money, and you pay people, and you hope that some of those people will go to your website, and you depend on the website. You depend on these things that are harder to delete, to censor. Which, well, technically, they can try to take down your video hosting, your websites. They could do DDoS attacks. They could do all these things. But at least it'll be a little bit harder. Not impossible, but the point is you should try to make it a little bit harder for people to cancel you, delete you, disappear you off the internet. It's pretty simple. Pretty self-explanatory. But here you are, people at DailyWire, with these old, archaic contracts Rated during the 1990s, god damn it. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not even in the position. I don't even have the talent to work for them. I'm not saying that I'm all that. I think I am a little bit sometimes. But that doesn't mean that I am. But nevertheless, even if I wasn't in that position, it would be like a waste of time because it's devastating for the soul, for the mind, for the heart. Chicken shoot for the soul I wish I had, but man, you screwing people over, you screwing the little guy. And Steven Crowder's only trying to help the people realize what's going on, and we got to change the landscape, and it's better that way. And so I stand completely with Steven Crowder and everything that's going on, and I think it's unfortunate, but it's really good that we're talking about it because it helps people understand the industry in a lot of ways. It's too bad people have to go and attack Steven Crowder. Is Steven possibly wrong in some ways? I don't know. But I'm not going to really focus on that. Don't call me biased, okay? I'm biased, okay. I'll give you that. But don't get distracted by that, whatever that is. Because, I like Crowder. I also like Candace Owens. I like Tim Bill, and I listen to people. I listen to them. I listen to these people, all these people, and other people too. And sometimes people can disagree and agree and all that kind of stuff, and that's normal. We shouldn't even talk about that. Like, I shouldn't have to even explain any of that because it's self-explanatory, man. But it's like, it's like, why are people suddenly turning their back on Steven Crowder? Think about all the good he's done. And now you think what? He's being a drama queen? I don't exactly know where people stand. Some of the people I know, some of the people I'm not sure how they feel about this, but I see what Crowder is trying to say. And I agree that bad contracts are bad. Very self-explanatory. And if you're messing with young talents, screw you. It's that simple. It's that simple. Why are you writing contracts that say that you get penalized if you get deleted off YouTube or Facebook or whatever? That's stupid. That's stupid. God damn it. Because I've been there. You know that? I've been there. So I just want to make this quick video. I could just ramble and repeat myself and kind of say some of these things, but that's basically all I wanted to say. All I wanted to say for now, basically, even though this is really strong, big, major, and like, especially with YouTube going after me, deleting my 10,000 videos, over 10,000 videos, my videos, that go back to 96 personal videos and stuff that I don't have backups of. I don't have copies of, and they take it without giving me third strike. They don't give it to me. YouTube don't give me a third strike, and they take me down. They take me down, and then won't tell me why. And they kind of lie about it sometimes. Most of the time, they don't talk about it at all. But it's like YouTube's screwing me, and thank God that I'm not locked into some kind of contract where DailyWire would be like, oatmeal, now you gotta pay us money. Now you're not gonna get paid because YouTube banned you. You gotta understand, YouTube wrong to ban me. Wrong. But they're gonna say, no, we right. But they're wrong. You know it. Anybody with integrity, anybody with got integrity, oatmeal slogan, anybody with honesty and integrity in their lives, they know that. That big tech do that. Again and again. Call me a fat slob if you want. I don't care what you think about me. What you need to know is, what you need to realize is, YouTube sucks. Hot dogs and fat. YouTube said I can't upload videos anymore ever again to any channel on YouTube ever again. But I'm still doing it, but they won't delete my other videos. They won't suspend my other channels. Which tells me something's pretty effed up. And I wouldn't want to rely on what they think about me. I wouldn't want to sign a contract that says that I have to make YouTube happy, because I can't. I try very hard not to say any word that YouTube don't like. At least it's a little bit better than TikTok. But even that is pretty bad. But it's like, what am I supposed to do? The point that Steven was saying is, these contracts are terrible. They're almost as bad as YouTube, who deleted over 10,000 videos. We've got to make the world better, one oatmeal at a time. Ow, that's right. We've got to make the world greener, one oatmeal at a time. Ow.